They say the crown is heavy, but what they don't tell you is that it's often soaked in blood. Welcome to the story of Britain's monarchy, a dynasty not just of kings and queens, but of power, betrayal, and raw ambition. Before the Union Jack flew over a global empire, the island of Britain was a battlefield, ripping itself apart from the inside. This wasn't a war against a foreign enemy. This was a war for the throne itself. The Wars of the Roses saw families destroyed, brother turning against brother, and cousin against cousin, all for a single coveted prize. The soil of England was drenched in the blood of its own nobility, and the crown passed from one dying hand to the next. Out of this chaos, a new dynasty emerged. When Henry Tudor, a distant claimant with a sliver of royal blood, snatched victory on Bosworth Field, he became King Henry VII. He founded the Tudor dynasty, but this wasn't a fairy tale beginning. It was a fragile piece, stitched together with a strategic marriage to unite the warring houses and maintained by an iron grip of fear. The ghosts of the past lingered in every castle corridor, and every noble family was a potential rival, waiting for a single moment of weakness. The Tudor rose may have looked beautiful, but its thorns were sharp and deadly. Then came the son, a prince who would become a legend, a tyrant, and a revolutionary all at once. Henry VIII. He wasn't just a king. He was a force of nature. His obsession with securing a male heir led him down a path of no return. To get what he wanted, he took on the most powerful man in Europe, the Pope, shattering England's ties with the Catholic Church. He declared himself the head of his own church, dissolved the monasteries that had stood for centuries, and reshaped the very soul of his nation. And his wives? They were pawns in his grand game. Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. 6 queens, each a chapter in his ruthless quest for power and a son. The court of Henry VIII was a glittering, dangerous place, where one wrong word could lead you from the banquet table to the executioner's block. But betrayal is a poison that seeps through generations. Henry's own children would inherit his turbulent kingdom and his cutthroat instincts. Out of the shadows of her scandalous birth, declared illegitimate and forgotten, rose a princess who would redefine what it meant to be a monarch. Elizabeth I, she was a survivor navigating a court filled with spies, plots, and assassins. To hold her throne, she became as ruthless as her father. Her reign is remembered as a golden age, but it was built on a foundation of espionage and executions. And no story proves this more than that of her cousin, Mary, Queen of Scots. Mary was a queen in her own right, with a strong claim to the English throne. She was a threat, a rival, and a constant Catholic thorn in Elizabeth's side. The tragic dance between these two queens ended, as it only could in that brutal age, with an axe. Mary's execution was a chilling message to the world. Elizabeth would let nothing and no one stand in the way of her crown. Through the centuries that followed, Britain's monarchy faced one crisis after another. It weathered revolutions that toppled thrones across Europe, survived a bloody civil war that saw one of its own kings, Charles, publicly executed by his own people, and saw palaces that were once centers of power become prisons for dethroned royals. Dynasties rose and fell, the Stuarts, the Hanoverians, the Windsors. Each faced their own scandals, their own betrayals, their own fight for survival. Yet through it all, the crown has endured. It has been polished by scandal and protected by blood. It has been a symbol of stability in a constantly changing world, a constant presence in the heart of the nation. The story of Britain's monarchy is more than just a tale of palaces, jewels, and royal weddings. It's a gripping saga of survival against all odds, where the ultimate currency is loyalty, and the price of treason is death. This is the real story behind the pomp and circumstance. This is the Bloody Crown, Britain's royal betrayals. If you were captivated by this journey into the dark heart of history, make sure to like this video, and subscribe to our channel for more stories of power, intrigue, and survival. Thank you for watching.